I told you that your significant other said that she doesn't love you, what would you do?
She doesn't love you as much.
Somebody please explain to me how that answer makes any logical sense. What? She doesn't love you as much, so the little love is enough? Let's just spin the narrative here, okay? Let's just say, for example, it's just these two in a relationship, okay? And she was to say to him for the very first time, I love you. His response was, I love you a little bit, or I love you, but just not as much as you love me at this moment in time. Based on her character, please let me know in the comment section, what would be her reaction? Because that response is crazy. It's like he's speaking, but nothing's actually registering. It's all going out of the other side. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if she was really paying attention to what he's saying, she would understand that that's not the response that he would want. In fact, she would know, and she knows that's not the type of response that she would want to hear. So now let's flip it again. Let's just say this is the situation where they are in a throuple. And Matt comes up to her, and she comes up to Matt, and she says to him, well, this is bothering me. Says what he says, you know, about Annie not loving him, not loving her as much, or not at all. And then Matt's response was, well, no, it's just that he just doesn't love you as much. What would be her reaction? Let me know in the comment section. Because the fact that she has the audacity to say these things with her chest, nasty work.
Now that you've bonded with her, try to bring me in. Don't try to push me out.
To be honest with you, like, should she try and help the situation? Try and bond? Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it, if somebody isn't into you, they're just not into you. You can't force someone to be into you.
Definitely blinded by her feelings for Ani. A polyamorous relationship is understanding the balance and when it's not balanced.
Do you know what though? At first, I was like, I agree with what you're saying, that she's been blinded by the relationship. And I still do agree with that. But at the same time, it's not also about being blinded as well. Actually, I mean, apart from being blind, it's also more than that too. It's the fact that she feels that she's in control. She feels that as long as Annie likes her more, that she has the control over the relationship. Because if Annie liked her less, then she'd have less control over the relationship. Because at the end of the day, with Annie, everything is all about power. Nothing but power.
Amini's just not seeing the signs that our relationship isn't balanced. And for your help to get through to her.
I mean, listen, trust me when I tell you about it. She sees the relationship isn't balanced. But the only thing that she cares about is that the relationship is balanced in her favor. If it's as long as everything is in her favor, then everything is good. That's how she's always going to see things. And that's why she's always going to defend still being in this relationship. But here's the thing though. The thing that I'm being disappointed about the most when it comes to Matt, to be fair, is that why is he not recognizing the most key thing that has already happened? Hanny has only slept with who? She slept with you, Matt. And when she slept with you freely. Yeah. She enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Why is he not seeing that Annie is just telling Amani anything that she wants to hear? I personally think that she's into Matt, but she's not into her. That's what I think personally. You know, I feel like she's more into that. I mean, listen, the woman knows that she prefers, in my humble opinion, that she prefers somebody that has something that is not, you know what I'm saying, okay? She prefers somebody who's got a D. You know, that is my assumption here, just what I'm saying, from my perspective. Over somebody that doesn't have it. I reckon she's somebody that she doesn't mind having a little bit of fun with women, you know, here, there, and everywhere. But her main source of entertainment or pleasure is got to be with somebody that has, you see what I'm saying? And that's just that. I don't think if they were to do where she put on a strap, I don't think that'll be enough for her. She probably wants someone that she knows. But remember, for a lot of women, well, for women, to be fair. I don't know about women that are lesbians, but for women in general that are straight or whatever, right? When it comes to intimacy, they love to know that the person that the man that they're sleeping with is enjoying them. And how do they know that? Because of course, when he's inside of her, he will make sounds, right? He will mourn, right? And the way he expresses himself will say. So of course, that is something that gives women validation that everything downstairs is good enough for that person that she's with. You see what I'm saying? Okay. You're not gonna. Oh, well, my assumption is I don't know if a woman would get that same thing because, yeah, obviously I'm not a lesbian, so I don't know. But you know, it can't be the same. One is prosthetic, one is the legit thing. You know what I'm saying? One, if the other one's making sound, it's gonna be based on whatever. The other one's gonna make sound based on the action. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway. And to be fair, when it comes to just the oral side of things, she probably prefers to actually get down with the real thing rather than a plastic rubbery thing, because the real thing, I can imagine the material being different, the texture being different, the flavor being different, you see what I'm saying? And also the arousal reaction that you're getting off the guy will be so much more different. You see what I'm saying? Okay? So for me personally, I just think that she's more straight than she is. Yeah, I think she's probably more bi-curious than anything else. But hey, either way though, why has that not been identified here? I'm surprised. But we saw in the preview for next week, Matt confronts Honey, has a conversation with her, and what does she do? She lays the lips to him straight away. Obviously, I want to see how that develops, but that tells me that she definitely has no issues with him. But end of the day, I do believe that she's playing a game with them both. You know, she's telling Honey what she wants to hear, and then giving him a physical attraction that she knows that a man isn't going to want to turn down, because, you see what I'm saying? Generally speaking, I do feel like she's playing them both, and she's not really into the whole type of thing. You know, yeah. But either way, though, yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below. But anyway, let's get into the next couple. Oh, what a calamity! Yeah.
Is your faith?
My face?
I know that.
Do you understand how you sound right now?
I mean, it's kind of crazy because if you remember recently, if you've seen the video, Shekinah came out with a post of a list of multiple things, okay, that has gone wrong in life. And in the video, the assumption was that she was talking about Sapa. Then this scene appears. What else do I need to add? Do you see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, let's read the things here. A week after returning from Montana, Shekinah told the producers she and Sapa got into a fight. Ironically, Shekinah shared audio recordings of the argument. Now, I would like to know, why would she record it? I'm just curious, like, at the end of the day, the only time people will think to record a conversation is if they've had this experience before. Now, in normal situations, let's forget TV, okay? Some people will do it because it's happened before and they need it on record before they go and report to the police. Some people do it because they're generally trying to set someone up to try and potentially just get money with them or ruin their life. That is another thing. There are multiple reasons why people will record things. Hopefully, we would like to think that most of the time when people record conversations is because they're trying to actually get evidence to prove that this person is a bad person, not for anything else that is worse than that. But in this situation, because this isn't like a normal life situation that's happened, because it's a TV show, it's a relationship on a TV show, I can only assume the reason why there's a recording of it is purely because the producers would have told her, listen, you need to record this argument. Okay? That's what it comes down to. I mean, given the fact that Shekinah told them that they got into a fight, at that point, I'm pretty sure that's when they would have been like, okay, cool, you need to now record the next fight or whatever. I don't know. It's just weird to me because I don't understand why she would randomly record him. Where does that come from? And let's just say that she recorded him and nothing to do with producers. That means she recorded him because they've had arguments in the past and now she's trying to build up evidence against him. But of course, we heard nothing about that in terms of her finding anything against him, right? So it's less likely to be that. I'm just saying, it's just weird to me. It doesn't make much sense to me, but hey.
I came home from working all day and I cooked you a meal and you just say you say to me and now you're leaving.
I hate this life and I'm going back to my country.
Don't you love it when people say, I'm going to go back to my country now? Ah, crazy work. Crazy work.
Have an argument. She sent me what I said. I won't let you drive my car. I'm hard to live with. It is hard to live with my dogs. Downstairs, don't talk with her. Let the time solve something.
You know what the thing is, though? I've heard rumors that the storyline between Sarp and Shekinah is fake as hell, and they are actually extremely happy in real life. I've heard these rumors a few times, and I've been trying to really see if I can notice any signs to say that these rumors are true. But the thing is, though, each time I do come across these two people, to be honest with you, I don't know if those rumors are true, because I do feel like they probably are in a position where their relationship is in shambles. I mean, Sarpa has been posting very interesting things on his TikTok as well as his IG. You know, videos where where he's giving relationship advice to people. But the ironic thing about it is that all of these relationship advice he keeps giving to people, right, are toxic advice. That's the maddest thing about it. None of the advice he's been given is advice that you would sit there and say to yourself, okay, this is good advice. You sit there and you'll be like, wow, this is problematic. So my point being is, we know Shekinah already spoken about how she's had a history of, you know, a relationship that wasn't good for her, that was toxic and whatnot. And now she thrives on making sure that she'd never be in another relationship that involves being toxic. So I do wonder if their relationship really and truly is this bad. If these are the things that are really going through, I wouldn't be surprised personally. Now, let's go back to what I was saying before about the clip. The clip itself in particular now of her recording him could be down to one or two things, I think, in this situation. It's either one, production have told him to record this argument, which means that it could probably be fake, or two, she recorded because these events have happened before. Now, let's not forget, the last time we saw these two on 90 Day Fiance, what happened? They had a little bit of I wouldn't call it an altercation because that's too much of a strong word, but we do know they had an argument and it revolved with Sarpa then ripping out some of Shekinah's extensions due to a phone being taken out of her hands or something like that. It was something that happened accidental. But the fact that we've had that in a previous season and now we're having this in this season, of course, now we got to start looking at this as if, okay, something serious is going on, because a part of me says, I don't want this to be a fake relationship because we are witnessing things that are not good. We're witnessing a chain of events where hair has been ripped out accidentally due to a confrontation. We're now witnessing a conversation being recorded because of them two having a dislike for each other, right? In this moment in time. And we've had other issues that we've seen too. So a part of me wants it to not be fake because I want this to be taken seriously, right? But then a part of me wants it to be fake because it's not nice to know that these things are happening. Do you see what I'm saying? But obviously TLC want us to believe that this is all real and this is all legit. So we have to take it for what it is. Now giving you this long ass explanation, my point being is that I feel like this is something that should be taken more seriously now. Because we now have seen a chain of events where things are happening with these two. And also in this episode, he also admitted that he can be very, he's got an impulsive reaction to things. Okay, and that's not good for him. So my question is that what's really been happening in their relationship? And let's not forget, we've also experienced how controlling he can be. Now, I'm not trying to sit and paint him to be this villain and say that he is a man that is abusive or whatnot, but I'm just pointing out the dots. I'm just pointing out the things that have happened. You know, somebody that is admitted to being impulsive, somebody that's also shown to be quite controlling, is admitted that he wants a woman that is submissive, and also shown control in terms of trying to manage her weight, obviously the things that she eats. And then also on top of that, we've seen events of them having an argument that got to the point where he accidentally physically, you know, harmed her. And then also now we're seeing this one here where they're having this little argument again. Now, some of these things are definitely apart from the physical things, the physical part, the accidental physical part, or everything else has been quite verbal. And these things can always be overlooked as nothing. But should we overlook them as nothing? Or should we really be like, you know what, something needs to be looked into here because their relationship seems to be a whole lot worse than what we are taking it to be. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we're witnessing a level of domestic here. And it's not cool. But TLC are still recording it because that's what they do. That's what they do. Anyway, yeah. I do apologize for a long rant, but I was trying to articulate my point. Still don't know if I really got it out properly, but anyway, we continue.
And this is where we are right now. We are not talking. Two strangers in the same house.
Dönersem Füsun, bundan sonra beni tutana aşk olsun. 3500 bundan sonra. 3500.
I found that one quite wild though, man. Listen, you've just had a whole dispute, and this guy's already talking about going back to Turkey and potentially add another 1,000 to his collection of women. What a freaking dog. But anyway, let's move on to the next couple. Let me know your thoughts on these two.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it like a normal painting that
No, a painted clear nude.
you told me that?
I didn't think it was a big deal.
I gotta say though, this whole segment here is just it's pathetic as F. I mean, listen, I've been calling this guy out for like I think it was probably the second or third week I've been saying this guy is just moving mad. But honestly, this whole conversation, I actually felt for her. But let's get into it.
Because all the books and nude pictures that you painted were like online.
I have done that before. What's the difference?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
There's something weird going on
Yeah.
with Claire.
Like, she likes to paint boobs. So what? But it's where this goes to is the most maddest thing ever. And it was what he says before that. It's like you're contradicting yourself now. But anyway.
She was with her friend naked. It just blows my mind. Honest, she's giving me bisexual vibes again.
So she painted her friend naked. And because she painted her friend naked, she's now giving you bisexual vibes. But it's her friend. Now, don't get me wrong. If infidelity happens or if people get funky, it can happen to anyone. It can always be your friends. I'm not saying that's not an option, right? But come on. I mean, it could happen, but yeah. Okay. I just feel like Marty always finds something to moan about. Like legit, that's all he wants to do is moan. There's always an issue here, there, and everywhere.
Is totally wrong in my culture, and I'm not okay with it. If after our marriage, she says something like, I want something else. I want something that you cannot give me.
You know what? The fact that he's actually speaking on a level where he has this random trust is crazy. So let me get this straight. So he believes that she may step out of the marriage to be with a woman, but she may not step out of the marriage to be with a man. I'm very confused here. So he's more threatened by a woman than he is by a man. Oh yeah, that's because of course in her home she's got a lot of pictures of women's breasts, and because she's got a lot of pictures of women's breasts, then that means she's more inclined to want to go with women, right? Okay, right. I'm just curious. Does he know if Stevie has a history of actually being with women? Just saying. But even if she did, does it matter? No. This is a woman that's invested a relationship with someone that's from another country, for goodness sake. The chances of her cheating is less likely. I like to think it's less likely because of the amount of investment that she has to put into it. You see what I'm saying? And also on top of that, this is a woman who's got kids. She's not going to bring, well, it could happen, but I would like to imagine that she's a good person and she's not going to bring a man into her life within the intentions of cheating him with somebody else, because this man is going to be also a part of her family with her kids as well, because her bringing someone into her life to meet her kids and then she cheats on that person, what's that going to do? It's also going to impact her children too. And the fact that she had the decency to say that, listen, I do not want my kids to be a part of this show because I don't want them to expose to the media. It tells me the kind of mother that she is. She's somebody that is very protective of her kids and she wouldn't put them in a position that is unhealthy. So the fact that he's questioning her as if she's going to go and do some madness is crazy work. Pay attention to who she is. Pay attention to her character. But this guy is too busy focused about himself. Clown behavior.
You have never made me sure about you not being interested in the same sex. So
Oh
you
my
never
gosh,
answered
I'm not
me.
talking about this.
Facts. That's everyone's reaction. Why would I want to talk about this? It's ridiculous.
You always give me a vague answer.
Okay, well, that's your problem that you can't take the answer that I'm giving you. Not
No.
No lies were told. It is his problem. Everything is his problem. Everything that's going on in their relationship is being because he's got an issue with something. Again, is he here to actually see if he can make this relationship work, or is he to keep complaining? He literally proposed last episode, but he's back to moaning again. I don't know why she even said yes.
That you're not interested in girls.
yeah, no. Does that make you feel better?
I think it's all okay for her, but it's not okay for me. Like, it's totally not okay for me.
So she tells you that she's not interested in girls, but yet you're still complaining that an issue that's not okay with you is not okay with you, but is okay. No, but when the issue is not okay with you, it's okay for you to be okay. But you know what? You work for some BS. That's all I'm saying.
know before our wedding, that what type of person I'm getting married to. Sometimes I think we need to postpone the wedding.
To be honest with you, I'm more worried about the type of person that she's getting married to. This guy's talking about the type of person that he's getting married to. Nah. That's the wrong focus. Who the hell is she getting married to? Because, boy, this guy has invested no time in actually getting to know her or her, or know her properly. No time in actually making her feel special, making her feel good. He's invested no time in showing her that he's the man that she wants. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. He's done nothing at all whatsoever to even be romantic, to even be reassuring. Now, I'm not saying the whole pressure should be on him to do that, but how is she supposed to do anything for him if all he's going to do is complain? I mean, listen, she took him to this place to meet a friend, all that kind of stuff, and he was too busy worried about the friend being naked in front of her, rather than actually being there to actually make friends with her friends. You know what I mean? Make a good impression. Oh, such a me. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Let me know your thoughts, please.
Combination, which I don't quite understand. And I think his children are kind of upset about it, but it's always Sean will stick to what he wants, and that's Sean.
I mean, listen, just imagine being his child and your father's now dating someone that's basically either younger than you or the same age as you. That is going to be a very weird feeling. So I'm not surprised that his kids are feeling a certain type of way about it.
We're a little concerned. She's so young, she hasn't had a career, she has anything behind you. You have everything behind you. She's young. She's had a very short, open, gay life. And she's
To be fair, I did feel like this guy was spitting a lot of facts here because, these are certain things that I guess some of us have thought about, you know what I mean? But is it that deep though? Because there's always a lot of, girls when they're young usually try and seek a man early anyway, and usually they do try and seek an older man anyway to be able to, look for things. But at the same time though, but obviously this is based on the fact that this is somebody that was, very young gay man who's now a very young and now is in the early stages of transition into a woman anyway. So there were going to be certain things that she hasn't experienced yet. Does that then play a factor? I mean, it doesn't have to play a factor because if she's with someone who is gonna support the transition and gonna treat her right, then it shouldn't really matter, to be honest with you. So the real question is that is Sean in a position where he's ready to actually be there to fully support the transition as well as any challenges that's going to come? That is the real question right in particular, isn't it?
now she's a woman and she's exploring that. Married in that situation, is it really the best thing for her?
Her, it's best that I am around and am involved in her life because I seem to be able to roll with the changes. Now,
to be fair, I felt like the answer was a good answer, to be honest with you, do you know what I mean? It was the only answer he could have really given. Any other answer he would have given probably would have been, it wouldn't have been a good one, to be fair. Because he has to be willing to be adaptable to most things. The question is, though, is he actually being adapted at the moment? Because right now, he's still showing his frustrations of the fact that he is losing Douglas. So he may be saying the right things, but it doesn't mean that he's actually believing that this is something that he can actually do.
which is longer than most of my relationships. I just have to have the trust that things work out, because if I really let all the doubts creep in and all the things that could go wrong and might happen.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, to be honest with you, I don't really think it's... As long as he's willing to trust himself to do right by Leah, then happy days, right? It should be, at least. But that's the main thing in life, though, isn't it? Knowing that you can trust yourself. That is the main thing. So a lot of people focus and worry on trusting the person they're with, but in reality, it's just all a matter about trusting yourself. Because even if that person breaks the trust, at least you trusted yourself and your intentions, and obviously what you wanted from this relationship. But if somebody decides to do you wrong and break the trust on their side, that's on them. That's it.
Then, of course, I think it could get cold feet.
But hey, my man has been talking about cold feet every single episode, so therefore he doesn't trust himself in this relationship. He doesn't trust the relationship can go anywhere. Trust is definitely something that he's lacking. He keeps talking about negative this, negative that, but based on all of his reactions and everything that he has said, it's evident that this relationship is built to tank. That's just that. Absolutely that. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Let's keep it moving.
Well, how much did you budget for a wedding?
I budgeted for 5. I mean, and I'm pretty sure I can do it.
I was looking for that dowry before.
Don't start me with that.
5K for a wedding. I mean, listen, I know nothing about the cost of weddings or whatnot, but 5K sounds like it's enough for a small wedding. Do you know what I mean? But let's talk more about the dowry. The mom is not having it. She's like, nah. Hold on a minute. But doesn't this matter? And let's get into it. What is it?
But Angelo, that's my culture. That's my culture. I'm like, lay off, Gregory.
I mean, the mom is, yeah, that energy is hella disrespectful though. Like, it's her culture. What's she gonna do about it? Like, get over it. Like, damn. The lack of respect is nasty work.
You factor in how much, you're like supporting her. Every day you go shopping for food and,
No.
Comical. I mean, listen, nice try though. Nice try. Give her credit for at least trying. Can you not factor in that obviously he has to do this, and that? But no, the answer's still gonna be no. Because at the end of the day, culture's culture, right? You can't change things from someone's culture, but that's just how it's been for God knows how many years. You know? It's the same as Niles. Niles tried to go to Ghana and try to, see if he can get married first before doing said things or whatever he tried to do. But Mr. Anchor was like, nah. You have to do this first. Because culture is culture. I mean, obviously, I don't know if there's been any other people that have done it, but I feel like now Niles and Greg's mom are the first two Americans that I've come across that have actually tried to tell someone that they need to basically, screw their culture. The entitlement, the lack of respect is surreal.
From the start, you can't take care of me.
Showing it right, every day how he's taking care of you.
There's a difference between what you think and what their culture and what they think is. You know what I mean?
I gotta say though, I do heavily respect Greg for this scene though. Because I haven't respected this guy one bit throughout the whole season. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do respect him in this scene here where he sat there and literally said, "Listen, Mom, but like, this is just how the culture is, okay? And we have to respect it." But obviously, he's frustrated with the fact that he has to keep telling his mom this, but his mom isn't listening. Of course, she's not, because she's stuck in her own ways, and she just refuses to understand, doesn't care to understand. Hopefully she does now, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, though, the question is that how is he going to find the money to actually pay for the dowry? That is the question. Because paying for the wedding and the dowry at the same time is nasty work. But I do understand the mum did say that the father and the mother are going to help towards paying for the wedding. But either way, though, does it mean that he has enough money for the dowry? That's a whole other conversation. Because really and truly, he needs to have that money before the 90 days is over. Otherwise, that marriage isn't happening. Well, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.